Blessings, beautiful being.
Dudes and dudettes.
We're back. We're back with Onni by popular demand. He's here. He's here. And he has grown his hair.
Yes,
It's no
yes.
longer a
Can you
mug.
see it? It's real hair.
Yeah, it's real hair. So, what we want to talk about in this video is ego death.
Yeah.
Since I believe I had an ego death like 3 years ago, 3 days ago. And it's funny, Onni has been with me here as I've asked Onni questions such as like, Onni, was it real?
Yes,
Like,
it was. You went through an initiation kind of. I felt it like hanging out with you. I still feel it.
yeah. Yeah, so just I want to start off by talking about a little bit, and then Onni can take on and share his insights about that and what he felt, and also what he feels about ego death in general. So here's what happened. I had taken ayahuasca now prior 3 weeks ago, and I feel ayahuasca now kicked in later. With the combination of the CBD that I took a lot of as well, somehow I was more sensitive and somehow I was able to let go, because when I was doing ayahuasca, I wasn't fully able to let go.
Yeah.
Like I was just resisting, and Bruno was telling me, my teacher, my master, Bruno, he who's enlightened by the way for sure. I told him he's the most spiritual person I've ever met. When I met him in person, I was like, wow, man, like that's crazy. Like you done so much ayahuasca, I see. Like,
Cheers, Bruno. You're great.
cheers, Bruno. Yeah, cheers, Bruno. Blessings, love you, man. So, and his organization is called Brahmatvadiva or Brahmatva, something like that. I'll have to link it up on my YouTube channel. But what happened is, I had a very vivid dream, and it felt like it was real. It felt like it actually happened. And the first thing that happened in the dream is that I died. And I thought that I had killed myself. I thought that I had committed suicide. But obviously, I hadn't. So that just tells me that it was a dream, and there's a lot of other things that happened as well. But then, something has changed now. It's almost like I have a different experience of reality. Even like my eyes, in the dream I got pepper sprayed,
Yeah.
and my eyes are like more sensitive now.
Yeah.
And another thing that I got is that I'm able to receive and sense telepathic communication and telepathic messages from people. For example, when Bruno was telling me all these things, I was receiving telepathic communication from him at the same time. And the last thing I'll say, and then Onni can take on, is that what happened is, it's almost like I'm speaking, and this I was going to say in another video as well, is that there's like two worlds. There's the material world, which we live in here. I can touch this is real. But then there's the spiritual world. But then I'm like, which is real?
Yeah.
The truth is, both of them
are real.
Both of them are real. I feel like, yeah, both of them are real. It just depends on which level we're at. Sometimes we're at a lower level, denser level. So then this is more real. And this, for a lot of beings, like they're like, oh my God, it's gonna last forever. Like when they don't believe in like afterlife, or so then they're like super into this dense reality. But yeah, that's the thing. And also the last thing I'll say is that now when I speak, it's like I can observe myself. So even as I'm so present, I think, so that I can observe myself as I'm speaking. So yeah, what do you think of that, Onni?
I just want to send a message that I've been hanging out with Klaus for a few days in Tallinn, and he's been like, oh my God, was the dream real? oh no, did I actually die in the dream, or did I actually like just wake up? Is this an initiation? I'm just gonna tell you all, like, don't you all take yourselves way too seriously. It's it's all good. Klaus is okay and he's smiling. That's a good sign for me.
Yeah. So tell me more.
Yeah, I think Klaus had an initiation, and you can recognize that you've been through an initiation if you start wondering, like, what's this initiation? And basically, he is more telepathic, I feel. Yes, we can like you can see this electric current here between our brains, like. And, he's very responsive. He's very aware of himself and his surroundings, and getting all these insights and all. That's initiation. It's I got mine. I was so confused. Like, did that really happen? Also taking myself seriously, which is sinning to take yourself seriously.
That's interesting because what Bruno, my master, told me, and I don't know why I say he's my master, but I just say it for trolling. Why not? You know. But he's my master. He's my master because I found my master now. So Bruno, my master, he said that, Klaus, when you have a dream, especially if it's like related to ayahuasca or like any psychedelics, it's just a dream. Don't try to overanalyze it. Don't try to be like, if it's real, if it's not, it didn't happen. He told me basically, Klaus, it was just a dream. Like, so, because even I started questioning that. Did I actually go to, because I found like these weird people who I was again, this sounds crazy, like, I found these people, I found this random Airbnb house that said Airbnb. What Airbnb says Airbnb? Like, I don't think any Airbnb says like Airbnb booking.
Our name is Airbnb. We are an Airbnb.
Yeah, so I don't think it. And then it looked like our apartment, and there was two beings there, and I was communicating with these beings. Like, I was asking about my twin flame. That now I had a realization about what twin flames truly are. That they don't really exist. Like, everybody is our twin flame, truly. Or anybody, you can just like decide, like, hey, you're my twin flame, and then you can just have a fucking 3 years of fucking crying and like, oh my god, my twin flame, and then like, holy shit, like, she wasn't my twin flame.
Yeah. If you're wondering, like, am I awakening? Am I progressing? It's very much like this. It's kind of messy. It's kind of like, did I progress? Did I progress right there? I don't know if I progressed right there. Was that a dream?
Yeah, like, I'm like, did I do wrong? Did I like? I thought like, at least, like, do I look like I was in a psychosis? Like,
Yeah.
So I was like asking Onni, like, did I have a psychosis?
The narrator voice says, "It was not a psychosis, Klaus."
Yeah, it was like a shamanic initiation.
And he went from 60 kind of negative positive, kind of like weird 60, you know, 60 is fuckery, it's weird.
Yeah.
He went to like 70, which is like what was that? Oh, I'm feeling better, feeling very telepathic.
Yeah, and also what happened is, like, I started, because I threw away the CBD because I have to ground myself a bit more. But then these last days, I felt like Kundalini energy rising, and I was looking, asking Onni, like, is like, because I got pepper spray in the dream, and I was like, okay, did I actually get pepper spray? Because I'm now getting like weird like flashes and like burning sensation in my like third eye and in my crown chakra. But obviously, like, a pepper spray wouldn't affect that, so it has to be like Kundalini related.
Oh.
And also I started seeing like this color, or this almost like an eye, like if you ever watched the movie called Lord of the Rings, there's the Sauron's eye. I started almost seeing like that with my third eye, like this yellow thing just being like, and very powerful, almost like fucking. And I read some, again, I don't know, my opinions about Osho has changed now after this vision, but I still want to reference him here because I think he says some good things, even though he also confuses people, which even he says that his job is the fuck? So are you saying that he's doing that on purpose?
Yes, of course he is.
Why is he just trolling?
60 is fuckery. It's all fuckery.
So Osho is just trolling people. Come on, Osho. Come on, Osho. Why are you just trolling people then? Because Osho said in one of his videos that, darling, my only job is to confuse you.
That is the job of the initiator is to confuse the living hell out of you. And so if you've ever been confused and you feel like you're kind of like way trippy on the spiritual journey, it's somebody initiating you. It's all good. Just say hi. Maybe it's me.
Yeah, so with Osho, he said that if you have a very powerful Kundalini awakening and the Kundalini rises, it can actually do damage to your physical body.
Yeah, that's what happened actually. I'd say
I think that's what happened.
99%.
Yeah.
And you had a dream that it kind of explained to you in some way what happened, but it was actually kind of like your inner, and you really needed an explanation. You manifest an explanation.
Yeah.
He was really confused and worried about this. Klaus was really worried, and I just felt like, dude, you're really doing very well. You're climbing up the steps, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely like feeling a bit ungrounded. Bruno was telling me that I need to ground myself a bit more, like walk on, but there's no like beach here or anything, but it's okay. Like I'm with Onni here, so Onni helps me with grounding, and we just had ate McDonald's as well. But definitely like something happened here, and it's not like. And another thing I want to share as well is that Bruno, he was pushing me. He told me, because in ayahuasca I received a message that I'm gonna be a spiritual teacher. Honestly, only we both were spiritual teachers, so
Yeah.
and like we both have the initiation to be a spiritual teacher, and that's also why I feature on the channel, because it's an important part of it. So like I got an ayahuasca and I got in dreams and visions of like where I'm working and then I'm with Onni. So I definitely know that there's some future where we're like working together, we have like a mission, so in ayahuasca, I received that, Klaus, you'll be a spiritual teacher. But then I was like, I'm not ready yet. It's too early. Like I have to be more experienced, more wise, more enlightened. But then now it's like I got the initiation, and it's almost like pushing me, like Klaus, like no, you have to start sharing now. You have to start sharing your journey now. And it's a bit scary for me because obviously with what happened with my previous channel, and I believe what happened with my previous channel, I got so like lost in the twin flame.
Yeah.
And then I got sent, and it was funny, like I was lost in the twin flame thing, and that was more a psychosis than what I'm experiencing now, right?
You got worried about psychosis when you actually found the cure.
Yeah.
And then you remember that actually the actual psychosis was actually the spirituality.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll gladly just add my story of initiation, that I was calmly hanging out in my home and entering a dark night of the soul, and I have Medi. I was like, okay, fine, here we go again, some kind of weird trickery. I hope it ends well. And then I got like, I've never had telepathy before this, and I got like, you are going to be a Buddha. In Finnish, I think, in my native tongue, this kind of whisper from inside, as if some motherly figure enters my body. It's like, hey, you're going to be a Buddha. Just calmly whispering in your ear. Don't get scared. It's okay. And I actually somehow went outside of my apartment and went to live outside for 1 week. I think it was very much like honoring the Buddha who slept outside.
Yeah, and you cut your credit cards, right?
Yeah, I cut my credit card and lived without money for a week. And I was actually very calm.
Yeah, I was calm too.
I was very much like afterwards I was like, what was that? That's how spiritual awakenings work. Like afterwards, I'm like, I was crazy back then. No, actually I was crazy back before I was awakened. No, actually I've been crazy the whole time, and life is crazy. But I had very similar emotions as Klaus. This kind of like what the fuck happened then? This kind of maybe needing an explanation, but months later, years later, it kind of like set in like this, and what comes to me is that not to take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
Like not going to, like if you see yourself going down a rabbit hole, I know you there watching, you are want to go to rabbit holes. then just know that you can kind of like laugh at it. We
Yeah.
have to create a whole anti-reality to experience like kind of like these weird things and
Yeah.
go into 7D like weird ways.
Because like
Yeah.
who takes ourselves too seriously? Who goes to rabbit holes? It's the ego.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the ego. It's like, and the ego wants to create separation as well. And I still have some separation, or I have a lot of separation, because for some reason, like I got into this weird mode where I've always had this where like, it's like me, like maybe it's like I've been in a war in a past
Yeah.
life or something, and
It has been, yeah.
I fought with these people who I meet now, and I'm like I have like some old like karma, or like old whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like old ties, old soul ties. And then I get angry, I get triggered because of that. And then I'm like, you are bad. Like even like Osho, I'm like, maybe I was like Osho's pupil or like a student, you know? And then I see him do all these things. I'm like, Osho, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you using drugs? Why are you,
Yeah,
like, what are you
exactly.
doing, man? Like,
You're supposed to be a spiritual master. Why are you using drugs?
yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, man? So, but then when I met Bruno, though, I have to say this. I met Bruno, and I have to link his channel to you. So, I think he might have been the initiator then.
Yeah.
Because now he's telepathically communicating to me, like, Klaus, just because he's telling me, like, Klaus, he said something like, you came here for a reason, and just make it happen.
A shitty reason. There's a shitty world and your reason for coming to this world is shit.
But he told me that you came here for a reason, make it happen. Then he said, no rush, but
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, man, like, shit, like, I came here for a reason. I came here to help humanity in some way. I don't know, again, I think the feeling that I get is we came here to help humanity to become enlightened.
Yeah. Something nirvana something.
Yeah, because we're in the path, and Onni takes life less seriously than I do. Like, I think the cigars help you,
Yeah.
the beer helps you, but that's
Yeah.
just also a way to ground for you, right?
Yeah, of course. And hey, may I share about this? What you had this trip over good and evil.
Yeah.
I think that's good stuff because Cloud really tripped
Yeah.
on good and evil.
Yeah.
Like he was very much like sensing this kind of like opposition from somewhere, this this kind of evil force out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I was like trying to tune in, like what the fuck is this? Because I don't really feel it. I don't really feel any like this kind of like that someone out there is being demonic against me or something.
Yeah.
For me, it's all like negotiations. Do I want more spirituality? Then I negotiate, and I don't see demons, angels. I just see like people just like us going like, oh, what is evil? What is evil? I can't find true evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had the experience where I felt the division, and I have to be honest, I still feel the division. I don't know why it is.
Yeah.
And I feel the division stronger than ever. However, at the same time, I know that in the highest level, there is no division.
Yeah.
And what I got from vision as well is that we're all on the same journey
Yeah.
of spiritual ascension.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that there's like people observing evil. And I came up with this story about Kankarank. Kankarank, the demon who doesn't believe in magic, does not believe that Klaus can have telepathy, does not believe that Onni received an auguration of Buddhahood, does not believe in magic at all, like a muggle.
Yeah.
And these Kankarank demons who don't believe in magic and good things, they make it worse for everyone because those who are teleporting and telepathing around, they're like, oh no, Kankarank doesn't believe that I'm real, that I'm actually doing this stuff.
Yeah. And I want to touch on twin flames quickly as well, and like a lot of this spiritual stuff. I realized that it's a trap. And like a lot of it is just meant to confuse us.
It's like you have painting and you have this room in the painting. And you hear that this room is the good room, you're gonna paint this room well. It's the twin flame room. It's where all the good magic happens, you can do anything you want. And you spend years painting that room, in that painting. When you have the whole canvas around.
Yeah. So I realized that a lot of this stuff, unless it's the truth, and truth you'll know, truth, like they say, truth shall set you free. But like twin flames, let's just focus on twin flames. Like, I think it's meant to confuse us,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know why. Who do you think came up with twin flames? Like just some random person, or like?
It was Lucifer's daughter. The devil's daughter came up with New Age, and she actually converted to Christianity, which I find personally quite hilarious. And she came up with the New Age. She came up with the twin flame label, and she was like, you know, a teacher does not know everything. A teacher is someone who's trying to learn everything,
yes,
and try to teach everyone. There's no God who's like, I know everything. Yes, I know it all. Come to me and I'll share everything. It's always the God is someone who's like learning and teaching, and like there's so much to know that there's always like need for that. So so the one who came up with twin flames, she's someone who was teaching herself. Like, this makes sense to me, and then people really took themselves way too seriously, as I keep repeating that people took themselves very seriously. This is my path, this is my future, this is my destiny.
This is my soulmate, my twin flame. I'm gonna be with them. I'm gonna wait for them forever. I'll wait for them until I die.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're meant to help humanity together.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, in the dream, and two people have kind of been my twin flames. Like, well, the first was the most obvious one, and in the dream, I start chasing both of my twin flames, but I couldn't catch them. I couldn't, like, I was calling them in, like, hey, like, come here. But I just couldn't, and I think that told me something. It was a symbol. The Klaus, you're like a rabbit chasing, or what's the word? Yeah, rabbit chasing two carrots.
Yeah, carrots. Oh, twin flame, I got to get there. Madness, I tell you.
If you chase two, you'll catch neither one. You're like aimlessly drifting.
Yeah.
But then if you are off the gold, the truth, if you just focus on that path, you will catch that.
Yeah.
That will come to you, and obviously it has already come to us. Like, the beautiful thing about time is that since time is an illusion, that's also what I realized. Like, a lot of these things that were happening, in a very weird order, very weird sequence. Like, I'm like, how is this possible? Like, what's that, like time traveling? I'm like, sure, yeah.
Yeah. I'm finishing my part by confusing you, because you don't get enlightened by just watching light figures around. That's what we are. We are like light figures. Like, we're very lighty, very holy, sacred. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
But being a twin flame, you're like Voldemort. You're like, how many twin flames can I have? How many times can you split your soul and create a Horcrux?
Yeah, and here's the thing as well. If you really think about it, you cannot split a soul. It's not possible.
I have no memory of such.
Yeah, like, and even the concept of, do you believe in the concept of our soul?
Sounds way too serious for me.
Yeah. I'm like, our soul. Even I realized my mentors also, maybe they tried confusing me. They were like, sharing like, oh, there's all these like, obviously some things make sense. Like Kundalini makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And Kundalini is a being and a force, and even that was Bruno was telling. But it's simple. But then when you get into this, like, oh, there's like aliens, and like there's like, you're getting like fucking dolphin DNA inserted into you, and you're like, oh man, like, this is getting a bit too trippy, you know? It's like somebody had too much ayahuasca. I was like, ah. So I think it's good to keep it simple, like Onni said, like not take ourselves too seriously. But then knowing that, again, what I want to pass on to you and what I learned is that this is your path. So focus on that. Everybody else is simply just a mirror. So even I realized, like, it's a lot of projection. So if there's like demons within you, you project that onto other people. Like, hey, you're a demon, you're a demon, you're a demon, you're a demon. But it's within. You have the demons within. Like, it means that you are a demon.
You are a god, goddess. You are a demon.
Yeah.
And gods are weird. That's why we have demons around. Because gods are weird and have these weird, manifestations.
Yeah, and thoughts, weird thoughts.
And the most evil are the ones who are really like Kankerang in the story, that they like judging everyone else's magic. Those like really like affect you. If you have in your life someone who's like, you're not magical, you're not sacred, you're not spiritual, oh no, you're just tripping and you just need to cut down on the bullshit.
And take some meds, take some medication.
Take some medication. That's like demonic. It's just so. That's how I see it. It's some really daily, everyday stuff that you see as evil. It's really everyday stuff. It's it's just cankerank.
Yeah, because like what they do then is they suck your energy. Like when you say that, for example, if I told somebody who's in the matrix stuck being programmed, I would tell them all these visions and they're like, Klaus, you had a psychosis, or Klaus, like you're going crazy, like you need to go to the hospital. But the funny thing is, when the police actually got me. Like after my trip, I woke up in a car ironically enough, with a Christian person. And in Oregon, I was like, Christian people are the most like, they don't like want to get into this stuff because they're so scared of it. They're like don't do ayahuasca because like you'll get lost, and only Jesus Christ can save you. Honestly, I believe in Jesus, but I believe like Jesus was an ascended master. Like he's not like what people think. Like he didn't want to be worshipped like he is now. Anyway, and Jesus was actually one. He saved me once, and I was like, okay, do you think is that real or not real? It's
you saved yourself. People keep telling you saved yourself. If you're feeling good from this video, you probably helped yourself watching us. We're just like pooping out words, and you're putting them together like, hey, this makes sense, and this is,
Yeah, so what happened is, I woke up in a Christian man's car without shoes on, and the guy was telling like, man, like, what are you doing? Like, you're so fucking high, or you're so drunk. I'm like, I don't know, man, like. And then I was like asking, like, are you Christian? He was like, yeah, you're a Christian. I'm Christian. I believe in Jesus. And I was like, you have to stop the drugs. Stop the drugs now. Now I threw away the drugs, which is good, It was enough tripping now. But like, and it was funny. It was almost like the seller of the drugs. She knew that we would trip. She looked at me like, look, like you're gonna like. She was telepathically like telling me like, take 5. I think I should got 5 or something like that. So anyway, what I was gonna say is that I was like, again, after my trip, so to say, which lasted like some hours, at least it felt like it lasted hours, I was in a Christian man's car, and the Christian man was asking me like, hey, police or the hospital? And I had no idea, like, I was like, what the fuck, like, what are you talking, man? Like, I was like, police, And then I started tripping like, I'm going to jail for life. And I was like tripping. But then the police came, and these 2 policemen were actually enlightened, I feel.
There's 3D enlightenment in which you are very mindful and kind of in 3D. You're doing job, you're learning love and hate, but you're kind of,
Yeah, so these people were then that. I didn't feel like they're like more powerful than me. I just felt like I had respect for them because they like did their part. And then they were just telling me like, I was asking like, do I go to jail? Like, can I go home? And they're like, no, like, you do a drug test, we check if it's legal or illegal, and then you go home. And I was like what does home mean? Like, does home mean like jail? And they're like, no, like home. I was like, what are you trolling me? Like, but no, obviously they weren't trolling. But here's the thing, like, if I was tripping so hard and like I was actually in a psychosis, they would have taken me to a hospital, right?
Yeah. So as you can see, like general spirituality can get you really confused. It can give you an experience where you're really like, what was this? Was that what enlightened? Was this telepathy? Was this red? Klaus did all the right decisions. I stand by him. It was, from my perspective, a good trip on the nature of things. Just dipping your hand in like, what's this like?
Yeah. Exactly. So I think that's the end of the video. Thanks, Onni, for coming.
Thanks.
And he'll show up in the future as well. I'll make sure. Since we're Italian, we can do some videos together. So yeah, it's been a good trip. So good trip and a good trip. Good trip being Italian and a good trip in some gummy bears and ayahuasca. So with that said, I hope that this video gave you something.
Hey, can I have an end greet if
Sure.
I get more videos? I want to come up with something really quick. Serpents. Thanks.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.